When you grow up in a small town in southeast Texas, there isn't a whole lot to do, which means everyone rallies around football. And in the South, football is treated as seriously as religion. Growing up, I was always either watching or playing football, so I was surrounded by the game for the majority of my childhood. It eventually became more than a game to me. It became my identity. One of the reasons why I pursued this sport so much was because of how football players were treated in our small town. If you played varsity football, you were a prized member of our community. It was like being a rock star. The ball was our instrument, and the field was our stage that we performed on. I never thought my love for football would change, but one Friday night, it did. We were playing against the last team we needed to beat to make the playoffs. I knew if we wanted to win this game, then we were going to have to fight for it. I strapped up my shoulder pads and helmet as if they were my sword and shield. I was nervous, not knowing if we were prepared to win or not. Little did I know, this was going to be the last game I ever played. I had been fighting for over an hour. Every play we ran was a struggle against the man in front of me. We were down by a touchdown in the third quarter, so we went for an outside run play to my side, right off of my hip. As the ball was snapped, I drove my heels into the ground, blocking the man in front of me as hard as I could. I wasn't prepared for the 270-pound defensive lineman that came lunging at my leg out of nowhere. As his helmet hit the side of my knee, all I felt was a pop. It felt like my leg had been broken into two pieces. As the trainers helped me off the field, I knew I was out for the rest of the game. But I didn't expect this to be the end. I went to the doctor a few days later to get checked out. The doctor came back in with my MRI results, and he had a grim look on his face. I had ripped off all the cartilage below my left knee, and I was told I needed to find a new hobby because I wasn't going to be playing football anymore. The few weeks leading up to my surgery, I felt like an outcast. I didn't feel like a part of the team anymore. I couldn't go out with my friends because I couldn't really move around much. This left me to sit and dwell on currently where I was in my life. I had this sport that I worshipped taken away from me in one play. I felt as if all my happiness was taken away from me. The surgeon drilled a screw into my knee to help hold things together, which kept me from being able to move around for about another month. I couldn't stand to just lay and think any longer, so I watched movies to pass the time. Watching the adventures of Frodo and his companions in Lord of the Rings and Deckard hunt down replicants in Blade Runner kept me preoccupied. Seeing these entire universes being fully realized on screen were mesmerizing to me. Watching these films gave me the same feelings I did as a kid whenever I still believed in magic. In a few hours, directors and writers could create believable realities outside of our own. The magic of cinematography and the scenes being performed by actors left me wanting more. As months of healing flew by, I found myself drawn to the silver screen more and more. Iconic scenes like
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
or one of my personal favorites,
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
The ideas of making movies became my new dream, and I found myself enticed with the idea of creating worlds of my own to explore. Looking back now, I realize I enjoy movies now more than I ever enjoyed football. I think I'm headed in the right direction of my life because I found this path on my own. I encourage everyone to not just follow the direction of everyone around you. Set out and find your own passions to pursue. You will most likely be much happier that way.